Hello class. I'd like to now give you a brief overview of what to expect on your Blackboard course website. Although this is a face-to-face traditional class, I do use Blackboard quite a bit for your materials. The first thing I suggest is that you go to the Saddleback website, click on the Online Education button, and then click down on Online and Distance Education. Even though this is a face-to-face class, a lot of your materials that you're going to access are on Blackboard, and I want to make sure that your computer, whether it be a PC or a Mac, is up to date and can access these materials. So click on the Online Distance Education and then click on New Students. Here you will find a checklist of what to expect for your Blackboard site, and basically it's a way for you to make sure that your computer and all of its settings are up to date so that you can access anything in Blackboard. So what I want you to do is don't worry about the online quiz because this is not an online class. I'd rather you click on your browser test. And your browser test, it will immediately assess your computer to make sure that everything's in place for you to access your materials. You'll note that my pop-up window check failed. And if you look up at the top here, you'll see that my current Firefox settings are saying, do you want us to allow this? So I'm going to click on Allow Pop-ups for saddleback.edu. And then hopefully once I do that, we'll see if it's going to make a liar out of me. It passes now. So you'll see that once I allowed those pop-ups, everything's okay. It's just alerting me that I might need to update my new platform, but everything else seems to be go. You can also test your browser for the Java plugin. And if you fail anything, basically follow the instructions that are provided to you on how to make your computer pass all of these checks. When you're done with your browser test, you can also have your computer checked for system requirements. So these two steps I highly recommend. If students take the time to do that, then a lot of the materials on Blackboard they don't have a problem with accessing anymore. Now, if you have a problem with changing your My Site password and that sort of thing, I recommend you go to New and Continuing Students and click on Student Technical Support, and you'll find here everything you can imagine on how to change your password, set up your email account. So if you don't want to log in and check your official Saddleback email, you can have your Saddleback email forwarded to your personal email. So I highly recommend that you check all of these videos in case you have a problem. Now, let's go back to online education. Click on Blackboard. And I'm already logged in, so let me go ahead and log out so you can see this will be your login page, your username as stated in those videos that I just showed you to check out. Now, because I'm your instructor, I will have a slightly different view to Blackboard than what you will have, but all of your courses will be listed, and human physiology should be enabled for you at this point. If it's not enabled, it will soon be enabled, and you will receive an announcement from me. The announcements page is our default page, and I have already sent you all our introductory email, and I tell you how to access podcasts, and I will describe this in another YouTube video in just a moment. And I also address some textbook information, which I will also address in your syllabus YouTube video. Now, under course information, you will find your current syllabus. I highly recommend that you look at the syllabus and then watch the YouTube video. It's about 23 minutes long, where I go through it page by page and tell you what to expect. For those of you who are pre-nursing and you're interested in the Saddleback Nursing multi-criteria, I have that posted for you here, although this one might be slightly out of date compared to the form that is likely posted on the official nursing division website. Tutoring information. This information is pretty current, and I encourage you to utilize your tutors. They will be present on the first day of class. And then lastly, I have instructions here to remind you how to access some of your Blackboard lectures. There will be times during this semester where I will ask you to watch a lecture, a PowerPoint lecture in advance. And the idea is this is called flipping the classroom. You will not be left alone to figure out the important part of the lecture. The idea is you listen to this lecture, you read the text, you prepare yourself for a discussion. Anything that was confusing to you, we will review when we meet face to face. So again, you're not left alone to your own devices. I will review it, but the idea is you do your part first, and then when I say, hey, on this day, maybe Thursday, we're going to talk about this, I want you to be prepared, because if you put it off until the night before the exam and then you have questions, well, I'm sorry. You're going to have to then listen to the classroom review, and any questions you might have are now going to go unanswered. So you need to be prepared to discuss these lectures as I assign them before we actually meet face to face to talk about them. And again, I will post another YouTube video that basically describes these directions for PC users versus Mac users. And then again, if you need a quick checklist on how to access your podcasts, these directions are still here under the information tablet. If you go to course materials, you will then find 3 folders, and you will find your PowerPoints for your lecture exams and any lab PowerPoints that I might have. So here is Lecture Unit 1. It's already been revealed to you. I also have questions. These are the same questions on the study guide that you should be able to answer for any of these PowerPoints before your lecture or lab exam. This gene expression PowerPoint that is not revealed to you on your Blackboard as of yet, it might be there now, this is going to be your first Blackboard lecture, and you will hear my voice talking about it, and these are the questions that you should be able to answer at the end of it. If you cannot answer them, then when we discuss this lecture during our discussion time, you should ask me to review some of these more important concepts. Not re-give the lecture, just review the important concepts. So here's where you're going to find all of your great PowerPoints, maybe some good videos to help you along the way. And as you can see for Lecture Unit 1, we have quite a bit of material. Any relevant videos, some humorous, I have here. You don't have to look at them. Kind of, pick and choose for the videos what helps you versus not. Going back to our lecture materials page, to course materials, study guides, practice exams, review materials. All of this is supplementary material. You do not need to print any of it. You do not need to turn any of it in. You'll notice I have helpful material for all lecture exams and lab exams. Please note, some of these materials that I provide for you are student generated, and some of them might be pretty old at this point. So for example, these Exam 1 review sheets, these are student generated. The student who did them was extremely intelligent and very organized, but they may not be as complete for your current semester, meaning some things might have been deleted, some things might have been added. They are just a general nice supplement. If you want them, fine. If you don't worry about them. I have a practice exam. I also have a review sheet here. I even video recorded a previous semester's lecture exam review. So I don't need to do another lecture exam review. I've recorded it. It's on YouTube. You can access it. Going back to course materials. Chapter outlines. For many of the chapters that I assign, I have actually gone through the chapters and have taken my own abbreviated notes and have included some pictures. This may not be exhaustive for all of the chapters I've assigned, and they should not replace you actually reading the chapter on your own. I provide them to you simply, well, maybe you want to go to the gym and review the chapter notes, and this is an easy way to take them on the stationary bike or the treadmill and just flip through the pages and review the material. Again, print if you want, don't print if you don't want. They're all here electronically. So that's what you will find under course materials. If you have a question about the class in general, just click on the I have a question, click on the link, and if you want to post your question, you click on Edit Wiki Content. Basically, put your cursor on the page and start typing your question and hit submit. And when I see your question, I will then reply. I will do the same thing, click on Edit Wiki Content. I'll put my cursor below your text and I will answer your question, and I will use a different ink color so you know that I have replied. Discussion forum. If I feel like we need to have a discussion forum, I will create one and I will announce that I've created it and what to do with it in the announcements page. Okay, something else you should know. I have the ability to see who has logged on to Blackboard and when and how often. Already, I can tell you, quite a few of you in the audience have not even logged on to Blackboard yet, and you have emailed me questions, and the answer to those questions are provided to you in the syllabus. So when I check to see if you've accessed Blackboard and I see you haven't, and yet you're emailing me for answers to these questions that are already addressed in the syllabus, well, my response to you is you should log on to Blackboard and check your syllabus and maybe even read, dare I say, through the announcements page, because I probably have already addressed it. Okay, so that is your Blackboard website. Next, I am going to walk you through these directions on how to access podcasts and how to access your Blackboard online lectures that are basically shown to you as a PowerPoint with my voice talking over them. Okay, until the next segment, I'll talk to you then.